Welcome to episode 48, season 2 of the SNLF podcast, sponsored by New Style Apparel. Just looks like me and Mike this evening. Gaz will be here shortly. He's never normally on time anyway. So, how you doing, Mike?
Yeah, I'm feeling all right actually. Not too bad. Busy week, but I'm starting to lose my voice a bit, which isn't good because I've got a big weekend planned.
So we're on for a good evening this evening. It might be nice and quiet, nice and peaceful, especially if Gaz doesn't turn up as well. I'll be talking to myself, and Mike's going to have to use sign language. As always, plenty's gone on in the last 7 days. Plenty goes on in 24 hours from when we record on a Wednesday evening to a podcast going out on a Thursday. So we're going to start this evening with 7 million tons of managerial changes, moves, resignations, appointments, and all sorts. I'll tell you what, Mike. I'm just going to click the button up here, and there we go. Now it's telling me I'm now broadcasting to Twitter.
It says that to me as well.
Yeah, there we go. How strange. Anyway, cast your minds back to actually last Thursday, and Eastbourne Borough were the first ones off the mark, luring Tommy Witherington from Aldershot in the National League. Tommy's second spell at Eastbourne. I think the last one was 5 years ago when he moved on. So that was the first to go. Then we'll go back actually slightly further to that, and it's not actually been announced anywhere, Mike. I haven't seen it, but we're well aware that at Arundel, Josh Parsons and Jim Warren are now the two in charge after Dixon Gill's 100% record lasted for one game and off he went. Heading back towards this weekend and this week, I was actually at Red Hill on Saturday afternoon, having a chat with Sammy Morgan about East Grinstead Town, wondering how much longer Drew Cooney had in time. By the time I'd driven home from Red Hill and got in, Drew had stepped down. So move number 1, 2, or 3 probably that happened there. Then on, I think it was Sunday or Monday, Grant Hearn resigned from Forest Row.
And
Andy as well. Obviously, Grant's the main man, so I ain't got time to list 1,000,001 names. So in between, after Grant then resigning at Forest Row, former East Grinstead assistant Ian Nichols was appointed as Grant's replacement at Forest Row, and yesterday Grant was installed as the new manager at East Grinstead Town.
I think they're co-managers.
Oh, are they? Co-managers.
Yeah, him and Andy. Yep.
Okay, there we go. Cleared that one up. And then if we were head down into Southern Combination Division 1, Mile Oaks, Carl Gillingham is taking interim charge for the foreseeable future as well. And literally about 1 hour ago, before we came on air on Wednesday, Brad Pritchard's gone from Lewis.
Where are we starting?
Let's start back at the very beginning last Thursday with Tommy heading into Eastbourne Borough. A bit of a coup for them, having had, obviously it didn't work out for Matt Gray, but Matt's won the National League. Tommy won the FA Trophy with Aldershot last year. On the basis of how you look at it, should be enough, and a manager good enough to get them out of the relegation zone and heading the right way up the table.
I mean, it sounds to me like this is an exciting appointment. It sounds to me like the kind of thing that needs to revitalise that club. What's he going to bring in, though? They've got one of the youngest squads, haven't they, in the whole league there. He's going to have to bring quite a few in at the moment. He's obviously got a contact book as big as yours. So something's going to have to happen. It's going to have to happen pretty damn quickly, I think. But if I was Eastbourne fans, I'd be really happy about that.
Yeah, should be fairly decent. Had a decent spell last time before he was there, and he's obviously been on to Kings Lynn and Aldershot since. We won't mention too much about Arundel because obviously that's been quite a few weeks gone by, but I thought we'd just better mention it in between because a lot of people probably didn't know, have missed it because nothing's been announced, but obviously Arundel's still playing and winning games as well. So then on to East Grinstead Town. Obviously, you know, we've looked at it the last few weeks and they're marooned at the bottom of that division. And a 6-0 hammering against Ashford United, who haven't started particularly well either on Saturday, proved to be the last straw for Drew. And Grant going in there as well. And I know, Mike, you've done a little interview with Grant and Andy this afternoon, which has gone out on the Dugout Diaries channel as well. It's a great opportunity for Grant and Andy as well, stepping up another level in that. But that division has got some big budgets. It's got some big clubs, and it's not easy to manage in, as a lot of our teams have found over the last couple of years.
Well, yeah, I did do the interview. It's on our YouTube channel and on the X channel there. Two really good guys, Andy and Grant. Really respect them. They've been supporters of our brand from day one. Make no mistake about it, they know the challenge they have ahead. But what they are different compared to other candidates that could have gone in there is they know the club from top to bottom. They've literally been there years, managed 23s. I think Grant's done the 18s. He's done the third team as well. You know, they've been on the committee, everything like that. So they know the back staff, and they obviously know a lot of the players. Not giving too much away, but obviously in the interview, they were very, very open. They leave Forest Road with an extremely heavy heart. But they are excited about the challenge moving forward. They really see they've got a couple of games in hand. I think they've got 3 points at the moment, a couple of games in hand. They lost 2-1 away to Faversham last night, which by all accounts, they should have taken something from the game, according to a couple of people that were there that saw it, including Andy. And they said themselves, you cut them open, they bleed those colours. So I think that's the only club, really, that they could have left Forest Road for, to go from a potential double promotion to a relegation battle, in all hindsight. Now, there's going to be some players moving, I expect, between teams. I think that they pretty much confirmed that. I also think that they stated as well that Forest Road will continue to be really competitive. They've got a guy in there that they know themselves as well, who seems to have a great playbook. Former scout at Crystal Palace as well, done a few bits. So he's pretty exciting for Forest Road. But yeah, Grant and Andy, after chatting today, I'm really confident that East Grinstead Town, East Grinstead will actually have a real fighting chance of getting out there, especially if you start seeing over the next week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks of the players that are allegedly coming in.
The first time both have managed at that level, isn't it?
I believe so, yes.
So that's I wouldn't say it's daunting, but it's a massive challenge on its own to have not stepped into that level before. Granted, probably the players they can bring in will be good enough, but it is a huge, great different ball game, you know, to managing in County League Division 1 under 23s, County Prem.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough to argue against that. It really is. But I think the advantage that they know is they know the club. Okay. And I don't think they would have took it on had they thought that they would be on a hide into nothing. Because the club that they state that they love in there, as in, they wouldn't want them to get relegated. And I think this is a really good story to follow now for the rest of the year. A real footballing story. Can they save the club that they, in theory, love and have been at for many, many years? And if they do, which I personally think they will, if they do, then it's a great, great story that we're going to see transpend for the rest of the year.
Yeah, certainly one to follow on the way. Gaz, we were saying just before you come on, you know, an hour before we come on, Brad Pritchard's gone from Lewis.
Yeah.
And we'll come on to Lewis in a bit more detail when we go into the Isthmian Prem roundup as well. But some people have said it's results. We do know that there's a lot going on behind the scenes at Lewes. I think it's quite common knowledge. There's a bit of financial strife going around there. Quite a few players have left in the last week as well. And although it's termed as a mutual decision, do you think it's more a case of potentially getting someone in a little bit cheaper?
Yeah. I just had a look there. There you go. Mike stuck it up there, covering my face. Thanks, Mike. Lewes manager going is a disgrace. The board should go, not the manager. I think it's difficult to get rid of the board when we probably all know when you look at it and they are a big club, not necessarily in the male game. They're a small fry, pretty small fry in the male game, but in the female game, they're a massive club. And I don't know whether they run the same or what, but look, there's going to be a lot of emotion at Lewes. I don't know whether they're at home this weekend, but there'll be certainly lots of emotion going around Lewes over the next few weeks. Be interested. I'd like to, if I wasn't going away, I'd probably like to go to Lewes this weekend just to sort of see what's going on there. Whether they're away, yeah?
No, they're not playing at all. They're at home on Tuesday evening.
Tuesday. Might be a little visit Tuesday, but no, I feel for the fans, to be honest with you, because they are a well-followed club. They don't follow us, but they are a well-followed club. And there you go. Look, Tommy Haddon, Ringmer are playing there. Get along. Look, regardless of that, look, let's get back to Lewes. I think it's a money move as opposed to anything else. I think they've probably gone to him and said, look, we can't afford your wages anymore. And he was like, go. That's the mutual aspect of it, I think. He understands that they're a football club who are probably in trouble. I think he probably knew that when he went there, to be honest with you, but I don't think he probably knew how bad. It's been written in the national press. It's not just us locally talking about it. It's been in the national press since the summer. So, yeah, that's my opinion on it. I think it's probably the mutual aspect of it has come from them saying, I don't think there's going to be any more budget for you, and him going, okay, I'll go. And I think there will be. I think you'll find there'll be a young manager in there who has probably no experience. And I hate to say it, but I think Lewes could be bang in trouble this season.
Did they? It was in the press, wasn't it? Was it like 120 grand's worth of debt or something like that?
Something like that.
I haven't heard it's as high as that.
Rumours circulating that Craig is going back, apparently.
Yeah, I've heard that as well. I'd honestly be surprised if Pitts goes back in there because it's going to be no better than what he had last year, potentially worse. And I know it didn't work out for him at Tunbridge, and I know managers are always keen to get back into the game after they're out of it, but I don't think it's going to do his credibility any good if he goes back because if it's in a worse state than it was when he left, last year. I mean, if you look at the parallels to last year and this year, they started well last year and then fell off the rails. They started reasonably well this year. They were up in that top 5 or 6 for quite a bit, and they've fallen off the rails again, which in turn looks at from the outside looking in that we've had a budget and we've had it cut and then we've had it cut again. And then that normally is that move down the table. So going back in there really isn't going to be any help. That 100,000 isn't going to be any help either to anybody else. I mean, my own personal take on it is their model was completely wrong. You can't pay your men's team and your women's team the same amount of money. And I know what you said, Gaz, about the women's team are quite a big name. They've actually fallen away in the last few years as well. They're not actually as big. They were, when the WSL started, their 2 divisions, they were up there. And considering they're not bankrolled by, a top Premier League club, they've done tremendously well. But if the women's team isn't bringing in as much money and the men's team are actually subsidising it, it's like 2 teams within one club. It's not one club that pays for everything. Yeah. And that again, obviously, isn't working. You can't stick with it. The other thing as well is they're a fan-owned club, which I love a fan-owned club. I really do. I think they're great. I love the German model. But in our game, being fan-owned, as AFC Wimbledon fight, only gets you so far because you haven't got that input of money that the director can just chuck in, and down at the level they're at, it's got them to the point they're at, but it's now at a point where you obviously need to change tack if you're going to have some sort of success, or it's only going to go backwards. And at the moment, all we're seeing is things going backwards. And again, as Lisa said, I've seldom women's teams have money trouble. Chelsea sold their women's team. It wasn't quite money trouble, but it was getting around PSR with rather a high overvaluation. So not quite along the same lines. But
what's the solution?
What's the solution? Change the model. You've got to change the model. It clearly isn't working. Simple as that. Change it. Don't be stubborn about it before you end up being in the relegation zone and ending up at step 4, as we've seen the likes of Bognor and Hastings do. The opportunity is there to change it. How that works within their constitution, I don't quite know. But at the moment, all it seems to be doing is piling up debt after debt after debt. And if you want someone to come in and run a football team at a reasonable step level, then you've got to have the backing for it. See, the other thing as well with their model is always appoint a lot of London or Kent-based managers, which is fine to bring you maybe a year or two if you've got a long-term plan, but then after 2 years you change, because although those players might train during the week a bit close to home and not in Lewis, you're alienating a lot of players in Sussex and Lewis. For the time I've been down there, which is around about 18 years, they've always had a really good under-18s, really good youth setup. But you're alienating all of those players by bringing in managers from outside who then bring in players from outside. And, we know there's a little network of players that leave Brighton every year. And at the moment, they're pitching up at Worthing, most likely. In a few years to come, it wouldn't surprise me to see them pitching up at Whitehall, because they're getting their youth set up right and, getting themselves in the right position. So it's about, you need to change with the times. Otherwise, I've always said, if you stand still too long, you stagnate and people will overtake you. You've constantly got to be moving in football because it changes so quickly. But if you don't change this model, then you can't see it going anywhere else but downwards. Yeah. Just my opinion, mind you.
Who do you think they should be getting in as their manager now? Do you think it should be someone local, or do you think they'll stick with the South East London, sort of South London connection?
It should go local, and go down that route and give it a try, because they've steered away from it probably for about 5-6 years now, maybe slightly more than that.
Yeah.
Go on.
But if the quality of manager isn't local, why would you go local?
Yeah, but the problem is that those managers then shun everything around Sussex. So you've got no affiliation with the players on the pitch, because in a year or two's time, they'll be gone on to somewhere else and it won't be around Sussex. You won't see them you won't see them at Hastings, you won't see them at Bognor, you won't see them at Burgess Hill. They'll be going back towards the Kent clubs and back towards the London clubs. So what where is your identity? Where do you sit?
Because I'm going to throw 2 names at you now.
Go on.
Billy Wood, Steve King.
Oh, William Wood. I want William Wood back in the game.
Naz.
Steve King won't go anywhere without a budget, and with that debt, I don't think he'll be going anywhere near there unless he's putting his own money into that to clear that debt to get him on the other side of it.
Yeah.
So I don't, I don't think so. Naim's not been talked about really since he left Hayward Heath about this time last year. Hasn't popped up anywhere on their pitch. Should look pretty good. Has he got the contacts? Would you want to go in there? That's the other question. Would you want to go in there knowing you've got next to no budget, but you've got to stay at step 3?
I think that's a bigger question.
Yeah.
Would you actually want to go in there? Because I've just done a little bit of looking online, and I do think that $100,000 figure is pretty close to being where they are in there. And, you don't find that down the bottom of Kellogg's cornflakes packets. So... And as you said, Trev, you're going to need money. What's the budget? What's the budget there for a year in that league, do you reckon?
I don't know.
On average, what would you reckon?
I don't know, but you've got a player on your books like Jordan Maguire-Drew that's been in and around the National League, in and around the Football League. The budget, I can't see the budget being small.
No.
Right.
No, I imagine they gave Brad a pretty decent budget to be able to get the players he wanted to start the season. But when you look at the last 2 or 3 weeks, 5 players have left. 6 if you include Finn Chadwick as well, and potentially players that they can't afford to keep, more than anything else. So it's then who do you replace those with as well? I know one of the guys who listens to us, Richie, his son's in the under 18s. And he's actually injured at the moment, but he's chomping at the bit because he's got an opportunity to at least get on the bench at the moment because they're going to be that short of players. And that's not, the greatest respect to him. It's not the way it should be looked at. It should be he's earning his place in the squad because he's good enough, not because we're just short of bodies and need to make it up. So, how it goes the next few weeks for Lewis is going to be mighty interesting, I think. And as someone said to me earlier as well, I was speaking to, these clubs get a decent average attendance, through the gate. Last night I was having a look through the figures when I was putting the results on the website. Three Bridges last night up at VCD. VCD had an attendance of 82. It's like
82.
82. How do you survive on that? I know it's a Tuesday night. Weather wasn't particularly brilliant, but that's a side that's a step 4.
But just put this in perspective, there was about 360 at Worthing United versus Lancing last night.
Yeah.
We're talking about that
a little bit later. Yeah.
I was just as a balance on attendances.
Well, all the other attendances in that division, I think, were at least 2 out of the other 3 games were over 300. Again, probably down on what those clubs get on a Saturday. But it's those kind of things. Lewis are well supported. We know Hastings are having a little bit of a problem as well. Again, well supported. And it's like, so, what is not so much asking the question of what's happening to the money, but there's a good revenue source coming in. Is it being spent wisely? Maybe is the other question to it. But, we'll see who moves next week because there's bound to be someone, coming or going, isn't there? Right, let's crack on with our games from last week. There was absolute load of football going on, as always with these midweek games not calming down. And we'll start with the FA Vars last week. First round proper last Saturday. Little Common went down 3-0 at Shearwater. AFC Vardinians lost 5-0 at home to Sutton Athletic. Hayward Heath won 6-0 at Molesey. Eastbourne United beat Sporting Club Thamesmead by 4-2. Guernsey beat Staples Monarchs 3-0. Peacehaven and Telscombe went down 1-0 at Hythe Town. Infinity won 2-1 at AFC Aldermaston. Stenning Town drew 0-0 at Fisher but went out 3-1. On penalties, the draw for the next round has pitched Eastbourne United at home to Epsom and Ewell. Hayward Heath are away to London Samurai Rovers for their 9th consecutive away Vars tie, which must be something of a...
I saw Stoney's stat about that.
Yeah.
That's
incredible. Incredible. Infinity's prize for being our only Step 6 survivors is a visit from the FA Vars holders, Whitstable Town. And this is their first game in the competition. They've been exempt all the way through to this round. Crawley Gown Gatwick also joining this round. They're at home to Kennington, whilst Guernsey head to Snodland Town. Ties to be played on Saturday, the 8th of November. That's a little bit of a kind of a bittersweet moment for Infinity that are doing so well in the competition. And then, bang, you've now got to get past the FA Vars holders who have been impregnable in the FA Cup as well and are currently second in the Southern Counties East Premier Division.
Well, I think Sean is going to love that, isn't he? Down there, he's used to the big games. Maybe not so much with Infinity there, but what great tie for the lads down there.
Absolutely.
In that club, to win it, you got to beat them, haven't you? You got to go through it. And is it really their last Step 6? Are they?
For us, yeah, for us.
For us.
I think in the entire competition, if I remember what Phil and Ets put properly, I think there was a guarantee of 8 Step 6 sides definitely through because they were playing each other in the first round, and that's however many actually managed to get through as well. So there won't be more than 2 handfuls. of them. So,
imagine if they pulled it off.
Do you know what? That would probably be that would go down as one of the biggest.
Would they get team of the week?
Well, they'd have to. Well, I don't think anyone else who does what on the 8th of November. They'll have to. I mean, I've seen Whitstable twice this year, and they're my favourites to win that division as well. They're well supported. They travel well. And a lot of them, the first thing I think I saw from one of the Whitstable fans I know on Twitter was, as soon as the draw come out, was like, great weekend in Chichester. It brings about all that sort of thing as well. Although they've already been to Chichester once, that was a Tuesday night, so it's not really got an overnight stay potential on a Tuesday. So, again, that people look at it as well. And although they live by the coast in Kent, it's a weekend away, a destination in the seaside elsewhere. It'd be interesting to see how Crawley Down get on.
Butlins will do well that weekend.
Sorry?
Butlins will do well that weekend.
It might do, mightn't it? It might do if you can get in.
Butlins Weekender, messy.com.
Be interesting to see how Crawley Down Gatwick get on. This is them coming into the competition as well. They're exempt the same as Whitstable for their progress last year. Kennington have started not too bad in the same division as Whitstable as well. So that should be quite an interesting one. And Guernsey going to Snodland won't be too easy either. I saw Epsom and Newell last Saturday, who go to Eastbourne United. They were fairly decent, Epsom. Not the greatest pitch to play on at Red Hill, but obviously Eastbourne United's 3G. Will be quite interesting, but another 3 weeks until those games take place, so plenty of league action.
That's a good time for Eastbourne United as well, though, because Epsom and Newell are always a side that I remember from being higher up. They're not really a step 5 side. They've sort of been step 3 and 4 over the last, in history. Just one other thing. Wonder if Infinity will put any food on for Whitstable when it comes down. Not really burgers in the bar.
Well, you want to get hold of a decent, burger type van, like literally what they had at Red Hill on Saturday. An outside company that comes in, cooks all the food, and that really good. So maybe that's something for Infinity to look at a little bit further down. Use that prize money from the first round.
Yeah. They got to capitalise on this. They've got to get something down there and get as much money as they can from that day.
Absolutely. Right, let's get into the National League South. Results on Saturday. Worthing won 2-1 at Chelmsford City. Eastbourne Borough got off the mark in Tommy Widrington's first game with a 1-0 win at Maidenhead United, and Horsham won 2-1 at Tunbridge Angels. Then on Tuesday evening, Worthing and Horsham made it back-to-back 2-1 wins for both. Worthing over Chesham United and Horsham at Dagenham and Redbridge, but Eastbourne Borough went down 3-0 at Maidstone United. This coming weekend, all three are at home. Eastbourne Borough host Chesham United, Horsham host Enfield Town, and Worthing host Dover Athletic. Back-to-back wins for Worthing and Horsham, 8th and 9th in that table. And I wouldn't say winning at Dagenham and Redbridge actually was any surprise, if I'm honest.
It was 3 points.
3 points. 6 points this week.
Look, you got to have a bit of time, Lee, to settle in. And the first game that he took over was obviously that crazy Forest Green game. But look, what they sitting now, 18 points, game in hand over Horsham, win that, playoff spots. That's where they're going to be at the end of the season.
And Gaz, Eastbourne finally off the mark against a Maidenhead side who've had a really good start to the season, but couldn't repeat again against the Maidstone side that have not had a bad start either on Tuesday night.
Yeah, I had a look. I was surprised. Maidenhead, to make sure I get the right maids then. Maidenhead, second in the form table.
Yeah.
In the National League South at the moment. That's a big win. That's a big win for Eastbourne Borough.
Anthony first and a clean sheet. Yeah,
and a clean sheet. So what do you reckon he's done differently? Do you reckon it's just the effect of having him there, or
probably? Yeah.
Same players. He hasn't brought anyone in as far as I've seen, unless I've missed it.
No, not yet. No, I mean, we said though before, just before Matt Gray got sacked, though they were starting to keep clean sheets.
Yeah,
they just weren't plonking anything in at the other end. Whether they went with the same mindset on Tuesday evening, I don't know.
No, but I don't know, but it's good to see. It's good to see them and pick up some points. Look, Shat might obviously poo-pooed it a little bit, but 2-1 for a 2-1 win for Horsham against Dagenham and Redbridge, regardless of where they are in the league and so on. They still got ex-England international leading their line. He played yesterday.
Yeah, he did, didn't he?
Quiet. I saw a picture on Instagram just before he came on of Greg Lure stood next to Andy Carroll. And now Greg's quite a tall guy, but Andy Carroll looks like he's towering above him. But even with Andy Carroll up top, he's a towering figure. He still looks fairly fit. He's not looking like me. But he should be able to do a job at that level, and they've kept him quiet, to be fair. And I'm impressed with what Horsham are doing. I'm not shocked because I think I called it at the beginning of the season. Everyone was tipping Horsham to go down straight away, and I was like, "Nah, not going to happen." No, you didn't either. And the thing is, it was the people that don't really know of Horsham. They've kind of just seen them on a bunch of amateurs beat Dorking 2 seasons in the FA Cup, and thought, yeah, they're going to stick them bottom. You can't ever write off a Don DePaulo side, and I think they'll be certainly in the mix by come the end of the season in terms of the playoff spots, in my opinion, if they carry this on.
That's a bold call.
That is a bold call, but I'll tell you what, I'd love it if that happened.
Someone bookmark it. Right, into the Isthmian League Premier Division. Last Saturday, Lewis went down 3-0 at Averley. Whitehawk and Burgess Hill Town shared a 2-2 draw, as did Chichester City and Billericay Town. On Tuesday evening, Lewis went down 6-0 at Folkestone Invicta. This coming weekend, it's FA Trophy first round, and Burgess Hill Town are at home to Folkestone Invicta. No one else has got a game this weekend. On Tuesday evening, Whitehawk head to Canvey Island, and Lewis host Cheshunt. Now, obviously, we were going to talk about Lewis before Brad had gone this evening anyway. Just having a look at the table, actually, because I don't often get time to really have a good, muse at it. And Lewis have lost 6 out of their 12 so far, and they're only 3 points off of the relegation zone as it stands. Now,
they've got 1 point in their last 18.
There you go. That is relegation form, isn't it? As it goes. I didn't expect them to win last night. Folkestone Invicta have got a fantastic squad down there. I think that's literally their second game back at home on their new surface after they played Dulwich at the weekend and had over 1,300. So I wasn't expecting them to get anything. But and I appreciate it. A long way to go on a Tuesday night as well. But you don't want to come away with a 6-0 spanking on top of being beaten by 3 at the weekend as well.
No, not at all. When you look at it as well, I think Ryan said it last year. You need to look at the goal difference of the teams that are going to go down. The only team with a worse goal difference than Lewis at the moment, it's Canvey Island at bottom.
That's a concern.
It's grim, isn't it? And we're talking about that, and it's not even November. Just had to check my watch and to make sure it wasn't November. It's not.
I might even get a game. I might stick my boots on, mate.
I think I'll play. Even me.
I'll play for free.
Yeah, it's concerning, isn't it? It's the table's probably flattering them a little bit at the moment in 14th, but when you look deeper into it, minus 12 goal difference. There's teams Wingate and Finchley, Potters Bar, # have all got a better goal difference than them, and they're below.
Yeah, and as you said about the goals, we said last year, didn't we, with Bognor? That's what literally, even though when Michael and Jamie got in there, they were winning a few games here and there and starting to put a little bit together. They were so far behind on goal difference, though, that everyone else had a 3-point head start around them, didn't they? Just literally because of that. So, it is extremely important. But, as we mentioned in the managerial bit earlier, it'd be interesting to see what direction they go in now. We know a lot of players have left over the last few weeks as well. Will it give opportunities to their under-18s? Will it mean... they're going to have to bring in a few more local players, literally, to add numbers to the squad. And is it what they can afford more than really a step 3 budget?
Yeah, I'm going to shout out the alien for some of the facts that we've got for tonight, because obviously he's not on with us, but
the alien.
The what?
We missed the alien.
We missed the alien. You look at it, right? And Trevor, I was looking at the stats, but I missed half the question. Right, the bottom of the form chart, they've scored 2 goals in the last 6 games and conceded 18. That's an average of 3 goals a game.
I mean, the other thing as well, guys, like you were saying, Jordan Maguire-Drew went there in the summer.
Yeah.
He's on the bench last night. He's on the bench Saturday.
Yeah.
That baffles me a little bit in itself because he's got quality. He should be playing at a level higher than step 3, if we're honest. We know he doesn't settle very well, but when you've got a player like that could produce something out of nothing, and you've ended up with two blank sheets and conceded 9, are you giving yourself the best opportunity?
No.
Oh, there we go. Rich said he's not fit, but he's fit enough to sit on the bench. That's you're either fit or you're fit.
Yeah. I was going to say something about maybe he's paid per appearance time and that sort of thing, but no, he's not fit. So there you go. That'll answer that one. I think it's a very, very, very concerning time for any a Liverpool fan as well as a Lewis fan. To be honest with you,
let's keep those words out of a Sussex podcast.
I don't know why I said that. There must have been something in my eye line that triggered that. I can't remember what it was. Never mind.
Right, let's get into the Isthmian South East Division results last Saturday. Broadbridge Heath hit 5 again, beating Sheffield by 5 goals to 4. Crowborough Athletic beat VCD Athletic by 3 goals to 1. East Grinstead Town, as we said, lost 6-0 home to Ashford. Eastbourne Town held AFC Croydon Athletic, the leaders, to a 0-0 draw. Hassocks drew 1-1 at Erith Town. Three Bridges won 4-1 at Herne Bay, and Hastings United went down 2-0 at home to Mersham. On Tuesday evening, Crowborough Athletics' long trip to Deal Town resulted in a 5-1 defeat. East Grinstead Town went down 2-1 at Faversham. Broadbridge Heath beat Hastings United by the same score with a very late winner, and Three Bridges won 2-0 at VCD Athletic. This Saturday, Eastbourne Town head to AFC Whiteleaf. Hassocks host Broadbridge Heath. Hastings United are at home to Deal Town. East Grinstead head to Sheffield United, and Three Bridges host Crowborough Athletic. On Tuesday evening, East Grinstead Town host Deal Town. The 7:30 kickoff. Hastings are at home to Hassocks, and Three Bridges head over the water to Jersey Bulls. And in the Velocity Cup, it's Crowborough Athletic against Sittingbourne. Three Bridges back on top of the table again. It's a nice little race going on there between Faversham and Croydon Athletic as well. But I don't think you can rule out Whiteleaf, Mersham, or Herne Bay at the moment, even Sittingbourne a few points further back.
He's done a great job at the moment, hasn't he? Old Krellin, Jamie up there. You know, it's good to see local lad from down here as well. He's got quite a young side as well. He gives faith in some young players, doesn't he? You know, if they're good enough, they're old enough. It's good to see. Well, one thing that stands out for me there, the goal difference. 38 goals they scored with a goal difference of 24.
Yeah, seven came against Sheppey, didn't they?
Yeah, but they've only lost once. They look strong. Faversham last night, though, I hear East Grinstead played them, and East Grinstead should have took something from the game. So, do you know what I mean? And that was a way to a side that's flying. So, going to be a few ups and downs.
Gaz?
Nothing to add, mate. I was trying to look at something. So, sorry, I have nothing to add.
Yeah, he's got nothing to bring to the table.
Nothing for that one. I don't even know what the question is. To be honest with you.
Right, let's get.
I'm not dressing up. I'm sorry.
He's dressed up as a burger with a huge pair of ears, so you can actually hear what's going on.
Well, I'm just trying to be able to add something later on. Mike seemed to have that covered, so you know. I'm assuming it was about the league and who's going to win it, but we'll go from.
No, never mind. Let's just move on. Right, into the Isthmian South Central Division. And last Wednesday, Bognor Regis Town went down 4-0 at home to Moneyfields. On Saturday, Littlehampton won 2-1 at King Stadium with a 94th minute winner and 9 men. well, Bognor Regis won 3-0 at Southall. This weekend, Bognor Regis are at home to Kingstonian, obviously being played at Chichester's Oaklands Park, and Littlehampton Town are at home to Harrow Borough. On Tuesday evening, Littlehampton also are at home, again hosting Westfield. Nice recovery from Bognor at the weekend, having gone down 4-0 on the Wednesday, to pick up points against sides that's down the bottom kind of area with them, and they're just starting to pull away from that bottom four.
Yes, I mean, it's good to see. I mean, I saw the interview that Jamie did after that defeat, and you can tell that must have hurt. Do you know what I mean? But you also tell that he knew that something was changing, I think. And I think you were right, because there's a lot of people been writing them off, and they're slowly getting there. They've got, the pitch and everything. I really hope, as a club, I really do hope, they put it together, because this region needs teams like Bognor and that doing well. I used to love the games, the Worthing Bognor games, when they're in the same leagues. So, yeah, look, I really do. But then again, when they lost to that Moneyfields, that's our mate Cal, isn't it, over there?
Yeah, they're doing quite well at the moment, aren't they? I think in the playoffs.
Yeah, they're 3 up as well tonight.
Who's doing bits over there? So, and he's put into a hell of a squad. But it was, to go 4-0 down, and then come back, go away from home, and then win 3-0. Brilliant response. Absolutely brilliant response.
Yeah, and I think one thing as well is their goal difference this season currently is -4. And obviously, where we looked at last year, they were shipping goals left, right, and centre. They've obviously made a little bit of an improvement on that. But again, there's probably a lot more still to come for them, and the same from Littlehampton as well.
Yeah. I think. Well, where do you think they're both? If you had to take a punt now,
yeah,
where do you think they both end up? Littlehampton and Bognor.
Mid-table, 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th. I think they're both. I think they both finish in a similar sort of place. Currently, Bognor are only 4 points behind Littlehampton now as well, and have a better goal difference.
Yes, I mean, I've said for weeks, so my concern with Littlehampton is scoring goals. They've only hit 14 in 12. And if you look at Hartley Whitney have only hit 1 goal more, and they're only 4 points better off, but they are sitting in the playoff places.
Yeah.
Littlehampton have got, by the looks of things, the capability of beating most of the teams in that division.
Yeah, they have.
And probably what frustrates me a little bit with them is that they probably should be sitting on more points than they're at the moment, and less than 5 losses, in the L column. But I look at Met Police as well, who are right for, who are only a point better off than them, and they're just as inconsistent. I think last night they lost 3-1 at Bedfont, who are 4 or 5 places below them. They win that one. Met Police are sitting in the top 4. It's a quite a tight league, I think, for an Isthmian. Right within that pack. But I think Bognor would be happy with a mid-table finish, because they've stemmed the tide, they've stopped the rot. But depends when they actually get back home, if that reinvigorates them, as we've seen with the Three Bridges and the Chichesters, and Burgess Hill are now starting to come to terms with being at home as well. That may spur them on, and they could finish a couple of places outside the playoffs. It's just that consistency that neither of them have got over a long enough spell to, I think, really trouble, the top 2 or 3.
When they due to have all that work completed?
Well, I saw someone say on Twitter the other day that they were expecting or hoping about 5 weeks' time, and I thought, I don't think they're anywhere close to that. I think if they're back in before Christmas, a bit like Chichester, they would have done well, because I haven't seen any updated pictures recently, but I've not seen anything like an undersurface rubble bit or anything going down yet. So till that's down, they put the shock pad in and everything like that. You're not even halfway there, I don't think. So I think it's a little while longer yet. But we shall. Right, into the Southern Combination Premier Division. And obviously most teams were either in the Vars or had a week off last week. But on Saturday it finished Horsham YM 3, Pagham 0. Midhurst and Eastbourne and Rothish had a 5-5 draw. Bexhill United won 3-1 at New Haven, and Crawley Down Gatwick won 4-2 at Seaford. On Tuesday evening, the Peter Bentley Challenge Cup third round, Lancing went down 4-1 at Worthing United. In the Sussex RUR Charity Cup second round, it was Horsham YM 3, Peacehaven and Telscombe 0, Shoreham 2, Selsey 3, Lockswood 1, Roffey 3, and Stenning 1, Pagan 1, with Stenning going through 5-4 on penalties. And in the Premier Division, Seaford beat Little Common by 4-2. This coming weekend, Horsham YM make the trip to Guernsey. AFC Vardinians are at home to Wick. Bexhill United against Haywards Heath Town. Crawley Down Gatwick host Midhurst and Eastbourne. New Haven travel along the coast to Eastbourne United. Lancing host Shoreham. Pagham at home to Lingfield. Seaford Town head to Peacehaven and Telscombe. Roffey host Forest Row, and it's Stenning Town against Little Common. Monday night football next week in the RUR Charity Cup second round. Forest Row host Haywards Heath Town. On Tuesday evening in the Surrey Senior Cup, Lingfield head to Woking, which is a nice tie for them, I've got to say. And in the Premier Division, Shoreham host Seaford Town, New Haven against Stenning Town, and Peacehaven and Telscombe against Crawley Down Gatwick. Now, the pair of you were at Horsham YM last night for the Sussex RUR Charity Cup game. Second 3-0 win in a row for Horsham in 4 days, and against two good sides as well.
Yeah, I'll start on this one. First thing I want to start on is about Peacehaven, if that's all right.
Yeah.
They are one hell of a side. They really were. I think even YM coach Giles, he came on afterwards and said that's the best he's seen against Peacehaven. They played them a couple of times already, haven't they? 2 or 3 times in the cup or whatever it is. They work hard. They were unlucky. Harry, the keeper for YM, kept him in the game in the first couple of bits.
He got man of the match, actually.
Yeah. But I'll tell you what it was. It was an absolutely great example of Tuesday night football in the County League. For those two teams going at it end to end. Literally, they both wanted it. Obviously, on the night, the clinical finishing of YM made it happen. I think I saw a stat as well today that the average age of their squad, and I said this to you, Trev, didn't I? Out of the 20 people that's in their squad, YM, average age is 22. He's definitely recruited well from his links that he has around, and he's got a couple of, certainly 2 or 3 mad players in there that are definitely going to be tough to keep about if they keep putting in performances like they did. But I had a brilliant time there. Great bit of hospitality from the club. And yeah, what an absolute game. 2 teams, Peacehaven and YM, that will be up there 100%. I'm looking forward to going back down to what's it called? Peacehaven as well, to see them. There he is, Giles. So I mean, yeah, Gareth, what do you think?
Again, 2 very good, very, very good sides last night. And actually, I've watched a lot of Step 6 this season, and then it's very noticeable between the two. It's a very clear step now, whereas before, I think what you'd see is it's sort of being very similar. But now I think there's a massive difference between Step 5 and Step 6. For the most part, right? I'm not going to say it's the whole way across, because there was a result from last night that was probably that grazed that area a little bit. 2 very good sides. 3.
That's a bit harsh. It was a good win for Sleaford Town last night. It's not fair on Wisey, that.
Not talking about Wisey, are we? And do you know what? You put me off my flow there, Trev. You put me off my flow. 2 very, very, very good strikes last night, and 1 very, very good sort of team goal, if you like. Worked it to the touchline, cut it back, beat the keeper, who is an ex-Football League goalkeeper.
It's good to see him there, wasn't it, old Macca?
It was really good to see him last night. And then, 2 very, very good strikes from outside the box. 1 rattled the underside of the bar and went in, and the other one absolutely beat Mac from about 20 yards out, curled it into the
He could have got near it. We were right there, weren't we?
Yeah, he was nowhere near it, and that's not on him. I think he's playing with an injury as well, from what I've seen on social media and that sort of thing. But yeah, no, it was nice to go up there last night. Nice to see two very good sides just battle it out. Marred a little bit with a red card, little bit of violence, but
yeah, what
more do you want from a Tuesday night, right?
It was just
watching Mike try not to flip up on the pitch. 3 goals, a red card, a couple of yellows, a very good refereeing performance as well. We'll shout that out. The referee had a pretty good game. I think you actually told him at half time he had a very good game.
I did, didn't I? I did.
We shout out the shit performances, that shout out the good ones as well.
His name.
So yeah, it was good.
Has he got a name?
Yeah, hold on. Keep talking. Fill it in.
Let's go and look it up, innit? Great result as well for Bexhill last week, winning. There you go. Alex Barron. Giles is beating you to it.
Thanks, Gilesy.
There you go. Well done, Alex, and well done, Gilesy, for getting Gaz out of the poo. Yeah, great result for Bexhill at the weekend, going to New Haven and winning 3-1. Obviously, there weren't many league games this weekend. And Crawley Down Gatwick, I think, are finding some goal scoring form with another 4 as well this weekend. But it's really tight. 5 points, second down to 7. But obviously, with not a lot of games last weekend, this weekend's going to be rather crucial, I think.
Yeah, I think, and we mentioned Peacehaven there. They got 2 games. You know, they're only played 10 games there. It is obviously by the old the Heath at the top. It is, yeah, you can see that flipping and flopping. As we know, it's always a league that we love looking at. And teams in there, yeah, look, buzzing to see how it goes.
Good. Right, let's get into some combination Division 1. Last Saturday it was AFC Woolcounties 0, Worthing United 1, Arundel 2, AFC Upfield 1, Ringmer AFC 1-1-0 at Dorking Wanderers B, Mile Oak 1-2-0 at Godalming Town, Billingshurst 1-3-0 at Jarvis Brook, East Preston 1-3-2 at Oakwood, Saltdean United beat Loxwood by 3-0, and Selsey beat Reigate Priory by 1-0. Then on Tuesday evening, as we mentioned, Worthing United beat Lancing 4-1 in the Peter Bentley Cup. In the Surrey FA Saturday Premier County Cup played on a Tuesday, it was Dorking Wanderers B1, AFC Woolcountians 2. The other results in the RUR Charity Cup finished Jarvis Brook 2, Ringmer AFC 0, Saltdean United 0, Oakwood 1. And the other 2 results we already know. This coming weekend, it's AFC Upfield Town against Selsey, Arundel host Dorking Wanderers B, Godalming head to Billingshurst, Jarvis Brook host East Preston, Loxwood are at home to AFC Woolcountians, Copthorne go to Mile Oak, Ringmer AFC are against Oakwood, and that game is being played at Lewis FC this Saturday. Saltdean United are at home to Infinity, and Reigate Priory head to Worthing United. No week games in Division 1. Bit of a surprise Godalming losing at home to Mile Oak, but fair play to Mile Oak to go in there and keeping a clean sheet.
That's the Carl Gilliam effect, isn't it? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Look,
great.
At the end of the day, you got to give Godalming credit first for how they started the season. It was always going to be one day that, you know, every team's going to have an off day. I didn't see the result. I haven't heard much about the game. So maybe I'm doing Mile Oak a little bit of a misjustice there. But you would have had that down as a Godalming win, you know. But it keeps it a little bit spicy there at the top.
Yeah, certainly does. And especially this weekend as well. Billingshurst in second, hosting Godalming in first. What game that should be.
I've got to get down and see Billingshurst because they're just goals galore, aren't they? You know, you just know when you go and watch a Billingshurst game, it's going to be it's not going to be a 6-7, but it's going to be a 4-3. It's going to be a 3-0. It's going to be a 3-2. You know, value. I've got to get down there quick. And I'll tell you what.
They've tightened up though, Mike, the last few weeks. I mean, their goal difference of +16, Billingshurst, is the best in the division.
It's incredible, isn't it? It is absolutely incredible. They've scored 34 goals. 30, and bearing in mind, Godalming has scored 21.
Yeah.
You know?
Right. So form-wise, Billingshurst is second behind Arundel. Scored 17 and conceded 1 in the last 6.
Wow. shine some light on their name.
Yeah,
good, isn't it?
You know, I mean, what can we got to get, lads? We got to get down there, haven't we? We've got to go and see what's going on when they're putting in that soup, that half-time soup.
I saw Billingshurst a few weeks ago. Infinity, they hit 4. I've had my quota for the season.
Yeah, I was there.
As it goes,
and then you've got to mention about that the local derby that happened last night as well, haven't you?
Where am I looking?
It's Worthing United versus Lancing, I think, Mike's
yeah, I mean,
I was going to mention Worthing United anyway, literally because they've got the best defensive record in that division. Now running 9 conceded in 12, and again, been another good week for them with a 1-0 win on Saturday and turning over Lancing in the cup on Tuesday night.
384 when I watched that game.
But were they all on a win bonus last night? Because that's going to be a good payout.
384. I believe that's like a record for them in at least recent times.
Yeah, 7 years, I think they said, isn't it, their biggest
crowd?
Yeah.
Which is phenomenal on an effing Tuesday night. You know? So shout out to Cuzzer and Sooty and Chairman Sanderson down there, because that's phenomenal. At the same time, Lancing bring a crowd. And if they're what are they, a mile and a half between each other?
That's humble. Sorry, just quickly, there's a bit of humble there. My Light was superb. Carl and the boys certainly did their homework. That's from God in Town.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Shout out. They're a class club, haven't they, God? I mean, they are class, aren't they? They do things the right way. Shout out, I like that. But yeah, going back to the thing, Worthing United defensively, and I've seen the results. They're very, very hard to break down. They work very, very well, and then in the middle they got Sherwood popping it around. They got 2 of the most exciting youngsters in Danny Kingston and Ethan Roberts in there as well at the top. I think they're going to push. Hey, you've got now Infinity, Arundel, Reigate Priory, who are bang on it. Worthing United, Billingshurst and Godalming. I don't think you can call it.
Not at the moment. Far too early.
No,
great. It's great for us again. Absolutely great. And Saturday's game, Billingshurst, Godalming. Which way do you call that? We know Billingshurst like to score goals, and they've tightened up a lot the last few weeks. We know Godalming are good, and 1 defeat in 12 games is phenomenal itself. But I don't want to call it.
Go on, let's have a. Who's at home? Billingshurst.
Yeah, Billingshurst are at home. I'm going 3-3.
2-1 and Godalming.
I'll go. All right, then I'll go the other way. I'll go 2-1 Billingshurst.
Too conservative, you lot. It best be a 3-0. I'll be watching.
I think it'll be a crazy affair, because Billingshurst ain't going to want to lose ground on Godalming, who already have a game in hand over them anyway.
Yeah.
So they're not going to want to lose ground. I think it'll be cagey. That's why I've gone 2-1. I think Godalming got it in the bag, but
this is blood and thunder football. There's no hanging around in this division. Simple as that. That should be a great one to watch.
What about the other end of the table, though, Trev? What's happened to the mighty?
What, Dorking?
What Cockthorne? No. Well, I did say we had this conversation a few weeks ago. This is their first year intake.
They've only got three players left from last season, I think, and it's a first year intake. So obviously, where they're treated as an academy almost, there were a lot of youngsters, a lot of 16-year-olds in that side.
Okay.
So yeah,
and again, if they're as well, guys, if their class of 16, 17-year-olds this year wasn't as good as 2 years ago, which was the squad they had last year, then there's your reason
for you though. They can't go up out of that division. Can they go down?
Yep.
They can they? Yeah. Well, actually, yeah. Otherwise, what's the point?
Yeah. I know they can't go up, so I wasn't sure whether
step 6, and I think step 6 is the highest they're allowed to go to. For example, I think if I'm right here, if where Reigate Priory are in step 6 now, and their reserves are in step, what are they in 7, aren't they? Yeah, one below. I don't think
Sussex, aren't they?
Yeah, I don't think their reserves would be able to go up unless Reigate Priory were at step, I think, possibly 4.
Cheers, mate. At least someone does.
Yeah, someone has to.
I'm blocking Mo's number now.
So yeah, as far as I know, they can get relegated. It won't be a case of they can't be. So yeah, interesting at bottom end. Right, let's get into step 7 and some combination Division 2. Last Saturday, Ferring won 4-0 at AFC Brighton Rangers. Boston and Worthing Town drew 0-0. Chester City B won 4-0 at Capel. Howsham Town beat Storrington by the same score. Russington beat Rudgwick by 3-1, as did Southwater beating Upper Beeding, and TD Shipley walloped Brighton Electricity by 8-0. This coming Saturday, 8-0, yeah. 8-0, and what is it? Eight wins in a row. TD Shipley, I think, something like that.
Yeah, they're class side, the old Shippers. But 8-0. That's nearly in my territory.
That's in your territory. I know. I was thinking that's what's trying to get past it quick. Right, this coming Saturday, Sussex Intermediate Challenge Cup second round. Harrison Town head to Wittering United. In Division 2, Bosnham host Alfold. Chichester City B are away again at Ferring. Rudgwick are home to Southwater. Russington home to ASC Brighton Rangers. Upper Beeding host Capel. Brighton Electricity head to Worthing Town. Leaders TD Shipley are at Storrington, which is the only 3 o'clock kickoff amongst that lot. In the Mid-Sussex Premier Division last Saturday, in the Sussex Intermediate Cup, Ringray FC seconds beat Punnett Town by 1-0. In the Premier Division, Balcombe and Cookfield Rangers drew 1-1. Holland Sports beat Crowhurst by 3-2. Polegate Town and Hollington United shared a 3-3 draw. Linfield won 5-1 at Reigate Priory Reserves. Rutherfield beat French Athletic 4-2, and Westfield beat Shoreham Seconds 3-1. This coming Saturday, all 2 o'clock kickoffs. It's Cookfield Rangers against Punnett Town. Balcombe head to Linfield. Polegate Town hosts Holland Sports. Reigate Priory Reserves against French's Athletic. Westfield head to Rutherfield, and Shoreham Seconds are at home to Hollington United. In the West Sussex Premier Division, last weekend in the Centenary Cup, it was Boys Club Old Boys 1, AFC Fishbourne 4. In the Premier Division, Dell United 7, Harting 0. Shoreham Crusaders 1, TD Shipley Reserves 0. Watersfield 3, Holbrook Olympic 1, and Wittering United 3, Angmering 2. This coming Saturday in the Malcolm Simmons Memorial Cup, AFC Fishbourne host Gorham by Sea Cricket. Calford at home to TD Shipley Reserves. Dell United travel to Emsworth Town, which is being played at Infinity. Whisper Green are at home to Billingshurst Reserves, and Harrison Town head to Wittering United. In the Premier Division, it's Harting against Angmering, Horsham Crusaders against Holbrook Olympic, and Watersfield against Petworth. There we go. That's all that lot rounded up. Gash, you can give us a burger review. I can stop talking.
Oh, no.
It's all right. I've let him know, mate. I've already let him know.
Of all the positives, I hope Giles is not still watching, to be honest with you.
I've already let him know.
Positives.
So, and you got to take the rough with the smooth.
Yeah. Of all the positives that came out of Horsham YM last night, the burger was not one of them, was it, Michael?
Well, I didn't eat it, mate. I'm definitely sitting on the fence for this one.
We had 2 ELBs, no bacon, and 1 slice of cheese. An entry-level burger, an entry-level bun, 1 slice of cheese.
Cool, this ain't going well.
No.
You need
egg and tomato sardies. I didn't actually have any of them though, for what it's worth. Look, it was only £4, which I'll be honest with you is what's kept it above Lancing. So I'm gonna go 4 out of 10.
Right, so take the price out of it. What should it have been? Come on.
2.5.
2.5.
You do realise I'm going away with this lot.
Yeah.
That's all right. Just don't mention the burger.
Look, it was
they
grim.
know the score. We've been doing this long enough, haven't we, Gaz?
Yeah.
Well, look, you know, in their defence, though, we did get some.
I haven't got a defence. What are you on about?
we did give We did get some egg sandwiches at half time, didn't we, mate?
Yeah, and a Bakewell tart.
And a Bakewell. Yeah, very nice.
But look, I think based purely on the burger, I think someone actually in the bar said I wouldn't bother or when I said I was doing a burger review. And from that moment onwards, it was a bit grim. But look, everyone sticks to what they can afford at the moment and what they need. And I'm not here to slag anyone off. It's just done for a little bit of fun. Yeah. And the fact that I like to go to football and have a burger, so I may as well talk about it here on a Wednesday.
So yeah, so he's going to get the feedback straight to the girls.
Look, I ate it, but yeah, and I'm still alive, so that's a winner, right? So look,
nothing's killed you yet.
I don't think the usual person was in there last night. From hearing a few things that were being said to other people, so I don't think it was the usual person in there. But look, there we are.
But if the normal person would have been in there, that wouldn't have changed which burger they cooked, though, would it? Or the entry-level bun or anything. So it still wouldn't have made any difference.
Yeah. No, but
make excuses.
But price-wise, can't fault it.
Yeah,
actually, I'd probably have paid double that to have a slightly better bun and a slightly better burger. So just balance it out a little bit. It just depends on what the people that go there expect, if that makes sense. So some of them might be willing to pay a little bit more for a slightly better quality. So that might be something for them to look at. But there we are.
Well, a positive note, they had San Miguel on tap, which was nice.
That's always good. Good. That's a redemption point.
Yep.
If nothing else. Right, let's see if we can get a better one next week. Right, team of the week last week were Hayward Heath Town. Reason we gave
boring lads with them.
I know. Well, do you know what? We could nominate them every week. We really could. But 16 and a half hours almost without conceding, 10 clean sheets in a row. I think that was quite a fair nomination because. Go on.
How are they going to stop them? Bar kidnapping Kev Green and Gathers or anyone like that. How are they stopping them?
I mean, if Kev stops signing strikers, everyone else might have a bit of a chance. I mean, adding Callum Barlow and Tom Chalet in the last couple of weeks as well, on top of what I know he's already got there, and the fact that Jack Barnes is not just popping up with goals from the penalty spot; he's popping up with goals elsewhere, which he didn't do at Stenning, or not as often as I've seen him do at Hayward Heath this season. What do you do? I don't know. I'm at a loss at the moment. I've only seen them once, but you just watch the results churn in every week, and you just know it's going to be a 0. It's going to be Hayward Heath are going to score at least once, and they have popped up with some 1-0 wins along the way.
Yeah. It's Green's Galacticos, isn't it, at the moment? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and I know, Michael, you like to know who was in the mix as well.
Yes, I do, because everyone still thinks I have a little say in this, and I haven't. I find out what everyone else finds out.
We had Forest Row, we had Worthing United, we had Guernsey, and we had Stenning. Now, all 5 sides had won 2 games, the Saturday and the Tuesday. Forest Row hadn't conceded a goal. Hayward Heath hadn't conceded a goal in there too. Guernsey obviously were on that 7-6 bus. Stenning had a 5-0. And Worthing United had 2 really good results as well. We can only pick one team. And, I think the week before, we struggled because there weren't many great results or performances. And we haven't picked this week's yet. We'll do that on Thursday. And obviously that takes into account Saturday and Tuesday night's games as well. So again,
you're going to give us a sneak peek into who's in the running.
What I am going to say,
I haven't even looked. I haven't had time to.
What I am going to say is asking if you're going to be in contention doesn't help your case.
Not really.
Just going to throw that out there.
That tends to make me go, do you know what? You can wait till later.
What do you get people messages saying? Are we?
Yeah.
I had a message last night.
Yeah.
I might start my own one. People can pay me. Then you should buy it.
They won't. Yours has got no relevance. Simple as that. But yeah, I think no doubt there'll be a few in contention tomorrow, Gaz, won't they? When we have a little conclave about it.
When you send me a list of results, yeah, will we?
So and so that next one will be announced tomorrow, will it?
Yeah. Yes, it fits nicely to put them out on a Thursday. I haven't got time on a Wednesday. I'm too busy. Simple as peas. So, and again, do you know what? It's great actually because this was only supposed to be like a little bit of fun, to be honest. And
then people take it really seriously. So
yeah, which is great.
Look, it's a bit of recognition for the players and the gaffers, isn't it, and the clubs? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I think it's good.
Do you know what also helps as well? I haven't had anyone ask for 2 weeks why such and such didn't get nominated for a Team of the Month award and ask me how it works. So people,
I love it. I reckon people just do that to wind you up, mate, because it knows it gets right up your back. Do you know what I mean?
You know, because I just don't respond anymore. I'm like, if you haven't listened,
I do.
Then you
I
do what?
I respond.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you find it quite entertaining.
Yeah.
Simple as that. Right.
Yeah, I don't get any abuse online. I feel a bit bad about that.
Well, none of us are getting abused, but I can always chuck some of your way if you want. Right, any shout outs this week from you two?
Yeah.
You got one?
I've got 2 actually.
Oh.
Whoa. Hold the press.
Huh? Hold the press. One I don't know too much about, but Bailey Smith got injured last night. I'm just going to give him a shout out. It sounded quite serious on the Worthing Twitter page last night. It said, our thoughts are with you, Bailey. So shout out to him. And I don't know whether it's been mentioned already, but it come up on my Instagram the other day. Shout out to Bailey Rogers and his other half who have celebrated the birth of their first child. Bailey Rogers being New Haven. So it came up on my Instagram. So I thought
congratulations, Bailey, and get well soon, the other Bailey.
Yes. That's me done.
Michael?
No, nothing from me, mate. No, not really.
Right, time to shout out the ground hop, which is obviously the weekend after next with we've got 6 games going on. 2, 3 then and 6. 6 in total. Hopefully next Wednesday we'll have 2 of the organisers on again, Lawrence and Robin. I caught up with them a couple of weeks ago at the Kent Hop, and so they were happy to come on again. So we'll run through the fixtures we've got. For Friday evening in Division 2, it's Alfold against Rustington at 7:45. On Saturday morning, it's AFC Vardinians hosting at Peacehaven and Telscombe at 10:45. Then it's
It's an early one, that isn't it?
Yeah. Then it's back into Division 2 with Southwater against Ferring at 2:00 before going back into the Premier Division at 5:45 with Lancing against New Haven. Then on Sunday, both games are in Division 1, starting with Loxwood against Arundel at 11 and Godalming against Worthing United at 2:30. I'll be at Lancing against New Haven, Loxwood against Arundel, and Godalming against Worthing United over that weekend. And I'm trying to tie in another game before the Lancing one as well, if I can find something localish enough. Hopefully, there's food as good as it was last year. I've not seen anything out anywhere yet. And I must admit the Kent Hop was a little disappointing for food. It was the normal sausage and chips and burger and chips and more burgers and more sausages. So I'm hoping it's going to be as good as it was last year, because what we had at East Preston, or what they had on display at East Preston, which some of you didn't get, was really good. Korean barbecue and something else they have. Roffey had jacket potatoes, pulled pork, baps, and all sorts. And where else did I go? Pagham had Turner's pies, bacon rolls, because they were the early kickoff on the Saturday morning. So I'm hopeful. Lancing, I'm hoping, are not doing burgers on the Saturday evening.
It's not Lancing though, is it? It's
County
FA, mate.
County FA, yeah. But
they don't like us anyway.
Being as it's the Southern Combination hop, though, might be something a little different. So I'll be making sure I eat before I go there.
Do something, Lancing.
Yeah, I'll have a little chat with Martin this week and see what he's got up his sleeve, if he has got anything. Right, where we heading this weekend?
For Mike, for his shout out.
Oh yeah. No, the only shout out I had, by the way, sorry I forgot that, is coming up. Just keep in the back of your minds. 5th of December, this charity game for Sussex Sunday Football League, All Stars allegedly. I'm sticking on the £9 Temu boots. First game back in
Whoa. We've just downgraded it from All Stars now to Also Rans.
No, I'll take it. I'll take it.
Well, maybe also strolls rather than running.
I'm back in the gym, currently weighing in at 15-13, 6'2". Yeah, so that's one. Let's play at Ringmer AFC on the 5th of December in aid of the children's wards in the local hospitals for presents for Christmas for those children. So that was the one. But yeah, so I'll be keeping everyone informed of that as we go along. Come down, take the piss out of me in there, and see if I can still play, if I can still kick it,
or just go on Twitter and take the piss out of him anyway.
Yeah.
Have we spoken about Seaford Town tonight? And about
you can shout that out. You can shout that out.
No, yeah, we should mention that.
I've only got the statement they put out a couple of hours ago.
Yeah,
I'll read it, and then we can probably just discuss it. So, peaceful process for fair play. Statement from Seaford Town. Good evening, all. Here's an update for the supporters and the wider Seaford community on our ongoing situation with Seaford Town Council. Yesterday, we asked Seaford Town Council to move, not remove, the items on the agenda that impact the club from Thursday's full council meeting to allow proper consultation. Unfortunately, Seaford Town Council refused, so the meeting will still go ahead on Thursday, the 23rd of October at the View, Seaford Head Golf Course, South in Seaford. Because of the incredibly short notice the club has been given, lack of any consultation, and the fact that many supporters have been refused entry due to limited capacity, we'll be holding a peaceful protest outside the View from 6 p.m. Please be calm, respectful and positive. We have a zero tolerance policy towards any antisocial behaviour. We're not like that anyway. Wear your Seaford Town colours if you can, or turn up and stand together with us. A full club statement will be posted at 10 a.m. tomorrow outlining our serious concerns about the whole process and the way the club has been treated. So,
I mean, are you going to explain to them, Gareth, for people that may not don't know what actually is going on?
I'm going to try.
Yeah.
It's all to do with the crouch.
And
which is their ground. And the council basically refusing stuff. I'll be honest with you, I haven't read a great deal into it, and I probably made myself look like a right dick now. But that's not unusual for me. But it looks like they're trying to scupper Seaford's chances of staying at the Crouch, from what I can understand.
Yeah, I think that's probably really what it is. And I know full well that club and that community around there, because we've been there a lot of the time, and that community, there's great people around there, and they need that. They need that round there in Seaford. And Seaford Town Football Club have been trying to make communication with the council multiple times. I mean, they've got proof of all these emails and everything like that, and they've just ignored them or haven't done anything. It's not a good look from Seaford Town Council at all. And I really hope that protest goes really well. So if anyone's in that Seaford area tomorrow and want to protest peacefully, because that's all they'll need, isn't it? If there's someone that doesn't want to protest peacefully, that'll just add fuel to the fire. That will. So go down there and support, Craig, Wisey, Sarah, and all the boys down there, Darts and everyone, and really hope they get something done and start changing their minds, because it's a great club down there.
But,
good. Right, where are we off to this weekend?
Oh, where are we off to? Where are we off to?
You can go last, Gaz. Where are you going?
I'm Manchester. Taking my daughter away for the weekend to Manchester this weekend.
Very nice. Very nice. Watching any football up there? There must be some side at home.
Well, they are. Man United are hosting Brighton, but no, I'm actually going up.
I mean, some proper football.
I'm actually going up for my granddad's sister's 80th birthday. So no, yeah,
lovely stuff.
So Tuesday, haven't decided yet.
Okay. Bit far away for you to make your mind up, isn't it? Really?
Mate, I've had decisions on where I'm going for the last 2 weeks, and you've yet to give any of your venues out of where you're going. So don't you start that.
Which is my own entitlement. It's just my own entitlement. That should be a game.
Mine's my own entitlement. That's why I haven't decided yet.
But no, that's just normal for you, isn't it? Really?
No.
Mike, you off to? Yes.
I'm going on a Mazza.
Pardon?
I'm going on a mad one. Fly out. I'm going to Guernsey, ain't I? Going to Guernsey away.
No, really?
Yeah. 100%.
I never would have known.
So I'm flying out. Flying out with Lee Penn on Friday morning. This Friday morning, we're going for a day before. Got a cheeky little tour, haven't we? Little tour of the stadium. Going to try and get some content there. It's supposed to be really nice there. I'm going to try and scope a few bars, and then the idea is to go and film Horsham YM turn up at the airport. I want to see what, because it's like a special day for them when the teams go out there, isn't it? Get to fly out and everything like that, and then obviously go to the game, and then have it in the evening. Literally, proper have it in the evening. And then I think we're flying back about 2:00 on Sunday. So, yeah, expect some proper out there stuff that probably shouldn't be broadcast at all. So, yeah. But I'm looking forward to it. Guernsey are obviously strong at home. Wyam are obviously flying. Yeah, it's going to be a mazza. It really is.
So you'll be banned from football next Tuesday then?
No, I won't. I might be on the Guernsey board by the time I come back. You know what I mean? I'll be on the Guernsey board or something like that. But yeah, look forward to it.
Guernsey wanted board. Be nothing more than that, will it?
But yeah, we've already scoped out a few, and yeah, so we're gonna meet up with both sets of players as well. So we'll go from there. But I will give you a proper update, and there will be some content going for sure.
And Tuesday?
He won't be allowed.
As we just discussed, if I get back after Friday and Saturday and Sunday first, then Tuesday I want to stay local somewhere. If I'm even allowed out. I have to ask these days, whereas you lads don't.
I have to
exactly. You got it backwards, mate. You've got it backwards.
And then then I'm off to Saudi Arabia at the end of that week. So yeah, that's a bit different. But hey, right.
Where are you going, Trev?
Yeah,
I don't know yet.
He's going to Barnet, isn't he? He's going to the Barnet Massives.
We're away at Barrow. We're away at Barrow on Saturday, so I'm going all out there.
Where are you going?
Saturday, I don't know. I haven't decided. Won't be in Sussex. Tuesday, I'm going to New Haven, Stenning.
I just looked at that.
Oh, that'd be a good game. That would be a good game.
That's why I chose it.
I just looked at that one actually.
And then obviously it's the pop weekend, so I'm doing 4 games then because I'll miss a few at the end of next month, so make up for it then. Simple as P. So yeah, as I'm going to be in Sussex the following weekend for the whole weekend, I'm going outside this weekend, but I don't know where yet. I haven't decided.
Outside of Sussex. Sorry.
Right. Also, great numbers again tonight. We've got over 800 of you watching at the moment. Which is fantastic for everyone and their support. That you guys always give. So we only do it for you lot.
It gives us a few pennies as well. That'd be lovely.
Yeah. Just donate us £1 million. Just do that. There must be some rich guy out there.
Hey, Mike, I've got 3 letters for you. App.
Oh yeah. Which one? The live scores. Okay, yeah. Oh fuck me, Gareth. So we did the testing this week with the select group of there. It went really well, including last night as well. Okay, 25th is Saturday, I believe. We have an extended out test now of another 50.
Right, can I just stop you a second? We got Team Talk SNLF coming in. Hello, Ryan. He's on Instagram, but I've got Ryan Gaylor on Instagram at the moment.
Okay.
Sorry. I just give him 4.
Ryan is alive then. Ryan, you're alive, mate. We miss you.
I spoke to him at lunch.
So we've done that. We've extended the app out even more on the testing, and the live scores go on there on the 25th, which is Saturday. Look, keep an eye on the socials over the next few days, especially as we're away, because I want to show it live working whilst I'm live as well. If you see what I mean.
That means you need not to drink on Saturday then, because if it all goes tits up, and
no
one's going to get anything, and Mike's going to be at the bottom of a beer glass anyway. So good luck,
bottom
lads.
of a ditch, I think, more than a beer glass.
Well, I was trying to give him some credit.
I was on the coffees today, so yeah, but yeah, look, it's gone fantastically well, and yeah, I'm very happy. Providing this last big test goes well this weekend with an extended out amount of people, then yeah, everyone can have it for free. It's done out there for good. And there'll be
it's about being time for Christmas, everyone. You can download it for free for Christmas. That's your Christmas present from Michael.
I can always take your bit off of it, Trev, to be fair. Anytime.
Be my guest, mate. Don't fuss me if I'm on there or not.
It's got everything. It's got everyone on there, and it's got all the podcasts, and it's broken down into. I think we've got on there now 132 clubs on there in the round. We have got all of the Isthmian. We've got all the National South. We've got all of the Sussex Combination Football League, Prem, Div 1, Div 2, all the West Sussex leagues, all of the Sussex Sunday leagues as well, including the Vets leagues as well, which is, it's pretty mad. Top goal scorers in every division. And you've got your ground hopping stuff where you can check into all of your games and how many stadiums you've been into. The matches you can catch within a radius of where you are. So you put your phone up and just say, like, there's all these games within this radius. And the thing that I'm a bit concerned about, there is one thing I'm a bit concerned about, is the fan uploads.
Well, you put it in.
we have a feature on there where you can upload your own videos and your own voice notes and everything like that, and it goes into a public channel and that. So, but we've just found some moderators for that, because the last thing we want is being sued before we've started. So that's going to catch on, and I hope that's going to be a bit of banter between some fans as well. So we're going to give you the one app. It's going to have everything there. So when you go on full time, you have to go this, that, this, and checking for this. Got it all there. Bang. Got it all in one. You don't have to keep jumping from leagues to leagues. Just click the ones, and you can follow up to 10 teams at once for notifications on your phone, like your flash scores and your live scores and that. So, yeah. But we are this final test away, and then we're going to play it right.
There we go. It'll be ready for Christmas. I thought of something else as well. Oh, yeah. I remember now as well. Nothing to do with that. Well, it will be ready for Christmas at this rate. One more thing before we go that I remember. I've done a little feature through the Turnstile magazine and website, just to kind of explain where we came from, how we are, where we are, who we are, where we are, and everything about the SNLF. So we've probably been through it before. You've probably got some idea as to why we came into being in the first place, but head along to their website and you can find out everything there is to know from birth to now. But that's it for us this evening, I think. Although Gaz,
I've got one more thing. Ryan Gaylor has said, I need a game recommendation for Saturday. So if anyone has any game recommendations for him, hit him up at I think
Guernsey away.
Team Talk SNLF or SNLF Team Talk, and give him a suggestion.
Right, Ryan. Burgess Hill against Folkestone and Victor in the FA Trophy should be an absolute banger. Billingshurst against Godalming.
Yeah,
Lancing against Shoreham might be quite entertaining.
Hassocks versus Broadbridge Heath.
There we go. There's 4 for your shortlist at least, if nothing else. Right, that's definitely it from us for this evening. If you want to follow us on the socials, you can find us on Twitter/X at the SNLF, on Facebook, thesnlf.co.uk. Gaz?
thesnlf.co.uk, on Instagram and on TikTok.
How many watching on Instagram tonight?
At this precise moment, it only gives me an actual live number, 4 at this precise moment. But I'm not going to lie to you. When I go through, there's a long list of people that have joined in at specific times throughout the evening. So thanks very much. I appreciate that. Instagram is very much going to watch it quickly. I'm not going to sit there and watch it. Mike, what are you laughing at, mate? Something funny? I'm going to share it with the class before the teacher gets involved.
No, my mates just sent me something.
Okay.
I can't put
What
it
is
in.
he? Billy Wood? Is it?
I can't put it on
Someone else?
We'll be banned.
Is it Billy Wood to Lewis? Is it?
Bring free William Wood. Free William Wood. We need Bill back in. I need Bill, box office Bill, back in the scene. Get him back somehow.
Anyway.
Yeah. Anyway, there we go. Right, that's it for us this evening. Enjoy your football over the next 7 days or so, and we'll see you again next Wednesday or Thursday if you're listening on the pod.
Yeah, have a great time, guys. Thank you, everyone, for their support as usual. It means a lot.
Bye-bye.
Set up.